Welcome to Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show. I am Kyle Anthony, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the bet review show for UFC 245, Kamaru Usman versus Colby Covington. We're going to go over the two free plays that we had on our prediction show, go over them very quickly, what we saw, what we liked, what we didn't like, and as well as just basically giving you what my thoughts were after this fight. The card itself was a great card, a fun card to watch overall. Main event really came through when it came to their beef, their issues. They both laid it out there. A lot of people don't like Colby Covington, but boy, did he really put on a great show out there. And Usman showed a lot of guts out there, standing toe-to-toe. None of them really wrestled there. It was just a great main event overall. And before we get into the two free plays that we did have, I do want to also say that starting in 2020, I'm talking with Wagertalk as well to have a show on their platform as well, working out who will be the host of that show, and then I will be on the other side there answering questions and kind of going over everything. So that will be happening in 2020 on their platform. More to come on that, and more to come on who the host will be as well. So definitely stay tuned for that, and I will let you guys know definitely once that all is coming together. But what we'll do first is we will talk about our two free plays. Now, the first free play that we had was on the title fight between Amanda Nunes and Germaine de Randamie. Now, this was one that we loved. Amanda Nunes, minus 300, was able to get her at. And this was a fight going into it that there was a lot, she did, Germaine de Randamie didn't win in the first one, lost, on the ground, the wrestling, the jiu-jitsu was there. Would that be something that would be important coming into this fight? And it absolutely was. It was something that we knew that would be the opportunity to possibly help with the striking for Amanda Nunes, but she really went into this fight, and she just looked for the takedowns. The size difference you did see there was there. De Randamie definitely has the striking and the kickboxing, and she was able to just keep it in tight, get her in, get on top of her, get the takedowns. And I gotta say, her takedown and her entrance for Amanda Nunes was really fantastic. I mean, she was able to really find the right spots and entry in, level change, think that there's gonna be strikes. De Randamie looking comfortable for a minute there, looking to throw a strike. She level changes, get the beautiful takedown. I mean, she was able to get some really clean takedowns, consistently throughout that fight. And there was even spots there where, early on, it looked like Amanda was getting tired. I mean, she was exerting a lot of energy. It looked like in that first round, second round, that she could have actually got the finish. She was laying on some big shots, but, de Randamie is very, very comfortable in pretty much any spot. And even where she's not that good on the ground, she didn't really, give up her back or really look to do something completely stupid or out of the ordinary. She looked to kind of, get her arms around her, kind of clinch it up a little bit, get it tight. There was a couple spots where the referee got it standing kind of quickly, which I thought was a little awkward early. But later on, Nunes really was, getting her rhythm and getting it to the ground, causing some ground and pound, moving around, enough on the ground where she was able to keep it going and not have to get it back to standing. There was that one spot, I believe it was in the fourth round, where, everything looked comfortable. And I think even Nunes at that point was kind of comfortable as well, that she was looking at it and saying, I'm on top of her, I'm just going to keep hitting her, I'm going to keep hitting her. And I think she almost had a lapse of what was going on because she just felt so comfortable that she was dominating the fight at that point. And it went from all of a sudden, she is comfortable, easily going to slide into this fifth round with a dominant performance, and all of a sudden, she's looking to get choked out. I mean, it was an unbelievable move by de Randamie. I thought even when she flipped her over and de Randamie was in a position where even you heard Joe Rogan, like, this is it. Like, this didn't look good. So it went from, I felt completely amazing to completely terrible in a split second, but Nunes slides out. She definitely was also calm as well in that position. She was able to slide herself out, get back into position, and find herself to have a dominating performance in that fight. She does get us to cash in on that co-main event. Amanda Nunes, was that the co-main event? The main card fight, title fight, the three of the fights, whatever it was. Amanda Nunes does go out there and get us that victory at minus 300. And then the other fight that we had was Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski. Now, this was another fight here where going into it, I'm really thinking, you know what, Volkanovski, his power, maybe a little bit overstated his power, and then you've got Max Holloway striking, foot move, the way he's able to circle on the cage, good footwork, a lot of things, you know, the volume, the output, so much that I thought with the height advantage, the reach wasn't there, but the height advantage was going to help him with Volkanovski trying to close that distance. There's a lot of things that I absolutely loved about Max Holloway going into this fight. He was minus 170. I loved the price going into this fight. Absolutely loved the price. And honestly, that first round was a scary round for any bettors that took Max Holloway, because right out the gate, you know, Volkanovski looked overconfident. I mean, actually, I wouldn't say overconfident because that almost sounds like he maybe was being sloppy, but he was so confident that his striking, his game plan, what he was going to be able to do, the pressure, all of that was going to really be a successful game plan throughout the fight, and he really executed it from beginning to end. And even they said that, you know, that Max Holloway, when he fought Dustin Poirier, that may be the blueprint, is the pressure and keep him out of rhythm. They say the big thing now that's going out is Max is a rhythm fighter, and you know, you put him out of his rhythm, it's very hard for him to find the opportunities to work into striking. And any time that really you saw Max look to kind of not settle in, but kind of settle to look for the striking or kind of the way that, and you just saw Volkanovski throw some big shots, consistently big shots from him. And you know, the takedowns weren't there, and that was something I thought would really help Max in this, was that Max has great takedown defense. He was not going to be going to the ground in this fight, so it was going to be a standing fight, and with what Max has been able to do, but he had, the volume was the other thing that I loved about him, and he was not able to really exert big combinations throughout this fight at all. I mean, there was very limited opportunities where you saw Max throw good combinations. And even when he did land some nice shots, but those combinations were so far and few where Max just didn't really do too much over there, where Volkanovski was able to keep the pressure going, landing big shots. You know, even in certain spots you saw Max where he was hurt. You know, he did the I'm not hurt. There was only so much that you can do that in a fight, where you can say I'm not hurt, when he's doing it for 5 rounds. And there's a point where you need to really let go and fire off some combinations. Max, even after the fight, talked, and the first thing he said, which it was a cringy moment, where the first thing he says on the press conference is, you know, I didn't watch any tape on Volkanovski. And, you know, no excuses, but I didn't watch any tape on him. I thought that was just a horrible look for Max to kind of say that, you know, is he trying to say he overlooked him, or, you know, that's why I lost kind of thing. I mean, you know, I didn't think this fight was close at all. I think it was a 4-1 to Volkanovski. I mean, you know, I think some of the cards were a little bit closer than that, or somewhere around that. One, I think, gave him every round, but pretty much Max didn't do much. And that volume was not there at all. And really credit to Volkanovski, because he executed the game plan. He kept talking about that throughout fight week, was I have a game plan, and we're going to execute this, and we're going to use some of the things that Dustin did, which was, you know, have that power, get in his face, do not let him really get comfortable, and work those angles and combinations. And he did that from beginning to end. And at the very end, I think that 5th round, or 4th or 5th, somewhere in there, was where Max, you know, actually landed some shots. And I think maybe Volkanovski, I mean, I'm sure they both retired to an extent, but I think Volkanovski knew, I'm in a great spot. I don't need to go all out. Let me just keep sticking to the game plan. He never looked to, you know, get outside of the box. He was very smart. That shows a very high fight IQ for Volkanovski. But I did like Max Holloway here at minus 170. And Alexander Volkanovski does get that victory. So we go 1-1 in this event. Not happy, because I had a lot of parlays going on Max Holloway with him being the final leg, and that one hurt. I could have hedged out a little bit, let it ride. It did not work out for us this time. But hey, there's always another card. That is the great thing about UFC. There is no off season. We have 2 weeks off and we start freaking out. So we will then, you know, what is there? 46 events every year. So a lot of events coming up. Went 1-1 in this one. Hopefully we continue to look to the next one, have some success. Definitely know what you guys think down at the bottom. Give me a thumbs up. Appreciate those who are subscribing. Even the comments down below. People who don't agree with me, I have no hate towards that. I love the conversation. I love the banter because that's what this is all about. We're all here to beat the bookies. At the end of the day, we're all on the same side. We want to beat the bookies. We're getting information. We're processing that information and looking to put our money in strong position. So that is it for the bet review show. We'll have another show out. And this is Kyle Anthony's UFC betting show, and I'll see you next time.